So we're also going to talk about the pediments of the Parthenon. The east pediment will depict the birth of Athena. And the center of this piece has been destroyed. In the drawing, you can kind of get a sense of what might have been there, what was there. And what you're going to notice is as we move towards the edges, the figures start to sit, then they're reclining, and at the very outer edge, we actually see a figure coming out of that lower margin. And these are all spectators at the birth of Athena, who's born out of Zeus's skull. The figure at the far side here, which you see here, and on the opposite side is actually Apollo or Helios, drawing with this chariot, drawing the sun through the sky. Sort of their mythological reasoning for the sun traversing the sky. Everyone else is watching this birth of Athena, and here she is having sprung forth fully armed from the skull of Zeus. On the other side, one other thing I wanted to point out, look at the detail here. This is something that's going to come back and haunt us throughout this class, and actually haunt art history for quite some time. What you're looking at is a detail of one of the goddesses. And remember I said men can be depicted nude, women are not unless they happen to be Aphrodite. Here's a depiction of one of the women. And you'll notice we have an enormous amount of cloth. You almost have what seems like 20 yards of silk wrapped around this poor woman. No wonder she's reclining. Imagine the weight. But it's a very thin fabric. See, it shows the line of her belly. It shows her breasts and her arms in great detail, as well as her legs. They're trying to show the body, but showing it under clothing. It's trying to show that they understand the anatomy, that they understand the body, even though they're trying to be modest about it. Now, when we move to the east pediment, things get a little more interesting. Most of this one is in fact destroyed. But it was a contest between Athena and Poseidon to determine the patron deity of Athens, with the Athenians as judge. Basically, the Athenians are judging the gods, which is a really unusual idea. No one in the Western tradition would ever place themselves in a position to judge God, but yet that's exactly what we're seeing. You'll notice the figures, and this is obviously a recreation. The female figures are fully clothed, even Athena, whereas the male figure, Poseidon, is fully nude. And we have a lot of that going on. There are some exceptions to the rule, but that's generally the rule. And what's happening is the Athenians basically are having this contest. They're asking each god for a gift to make them the patron god of Athens. Again, this very egotistical idea. Poseidon is going to strike his trident on the ground and bring forth a saltwater spring. Saltwater spring is very important because salt is very valuable in the ancient world, and you take the water from the saltwater spring, you boil it down, you get salt. Athena creates the olive tree, and the olive tree brings forth oil, food. It becomes a basis of sustenance for the Greek people. And the Athenians obviously decide that Athena should be the patron god of their city.